This is my grandma's knitting bag. This is her collection of needles that I've inherited, and I'm working my way through trying to do it justice.
On top of needles and yarn, Jessica Campbell inherited an unfinished throw her grandma started before she died in September 2023. Campbell says she tried knitting as a teenager but never had enough patience. She would have loved to finish her grandma's work but didn't know where to start until someone at her local yarn store suggested she give Ruth Mackenzie a call.
I have been knitting since I was a child. My grandmother, for whom I am named, taught me. I don't remember how old I was. And I made a few projects as a tool to help me quit smoking.
Ruth Mackenzie is a reading teacher by training and a passionate knitter in her free time. She's also one of volunteers with the international project called Loose Ends that helps people finish knitting projects started by late loved ones. Mackenzie happily agreed to help Campbell finish her grandmother's throw, but as is often the case, there was no pattern, no descriptions or details left. Mackenzie managed to knit the missing bits except for one final square, so she started asking Campbell questions.
If there was maybe some meaningful word or some meaningful symbol that we could put up here. And so my grandma became Tutu, is what we called her when my children were born, because instead of great-grandmother or Gigi that people call, it was just a name that developed within my family. And so Ruth made a square.
The Loose Ends project, where Mackenzie volunteers, came to life thanks to two friends, Jen Simonik and Macy Kaplan.
And last summer, our friend Patty lost her mother to cancer. Patty's mom had started 2 blankets, one for each of her sons. And as I sat there thinking about how I was going to crochet this massive blanket, because I love my friend Patty, but I do not like crocheting, Macy said, I've been thinking about creating a group.
So since starting Loose Ends in the fall of 2022, we have welcomed about 19,000 volunteer finishers worldwide from 65 different countries.
All the volunteers work for free, and it's not just knitting. They also crochet and weave, among other things. Families whose loved ones had been working on a project can come to Loose Ends to get the project finished. In the 18 months since the project started, over 2,500 families have received a finished project thanks to Loose Ends. Campbell did too.
This organization is a real sort of light in the darkness.
And the fact that there are people in the world who are willing to just give their heart and time and energy to someone else's family, right? Like to finishing someone else's project and to seeing through what someone's loved one was working on. It's just, yeah, it renews your faith in humanity.
The project creators say they understand how important it is to have something your loved one has made, and that's why they want to help, one stitch at a time. For Vishneva in New York, Anna Rice, VOA News.